Well, he attack me. But JAYDEN chase, they have to make the fans them know what really are going on.
Yeah, man, now move settings, nation. And we no need no ladder. Yeah, man, JAYDEN chase, and I want to bring another exciting reasoning on the topic of current affairs. So if you're new to the channel, just a pass through, but I like the reason and of course I like the point of view. Well, I'm suggesting to you that you click the subscribe icon and then kick in the like button. Now let's get right into the reasoning. Now, nation, the police commissioner Antony Anderson has confirmed that the shift of police focus created by this current administration, along with the uncalculated protocols put in place by the Holness government, has created an upsurge in crime. The commissioner also blasted the current administration for stretching police resources thin, forcing officers to focus more on Disaster Risk Management Act violations and not on violent crimes. Anderson said going forward he has instructed officers to focus more on criminal investigations as the constabulary force is under increased pressure to rein in the murder rate. The commissioner was also quoted as saying, as Jamaica entered a third week of lockdowns to counter the soaring big C-19 infection rate, police personnel were informed that the additional demands on resources have caused the force to embark on a more flexible surge operation. In the lead up to no movement days, Anderson said that policing should be geared towards the management of movement, but focused on the violations that impact public safety. Otherwise, the security forces should be focused on stopping the movement of criminals and illegal firearms. Now, nation, this is something that citizens themselves have been calling for. Citizens have been saying that while the big C-19 is of course a worldwide issue and everybody is concerned, crime and violence nah take no day off. And they are saying Holness and the current administration are proceeding as if criminals have decided that big C-19 are going on, so we're going to just ease off of this and wait until everything back to normal, then we'll get back to criminal activity. And that is not the case. In fact, the security forces are saying that criminals have adapted to what is taking place and are using these days of no movement to carry out their activity. Now, nation, if the commissioner of police have to forward out and say he have to give new instructions to police personnel, then where is the focus of the current administration? Where is the focus of the Minister of National Security? Nation, at this particular point in time, both civilians and civil servants are voicing their outrage at the protocols being put in place by this administration. Now, the commissioner said the enforcement of curfews as provided under the Disaster Risk Management Act will continue, as these protocols have been passed by Parliament. The commissioner also said to emphasize on the importance of e-commerce, National Delivery System, ENDS, as a critical component of support during restrictions. He said, and I quote, unless there is a blatant breach occurring or specific intelligence is given, the free passage of delivery personnel is to be allowed, the commissioner said. Now, days after an outrage took place at a particular restaurant franchise, and also hours after a voice note was leaked from a frustrated senior detective of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the commissioner reminded franchise owners and managers that Prime Minister Holness disclosed recently that cops and other security personnel could purchase meals directly from establishments registered under ENDS. Now, Anderson also ordered that leniency be extended to commercial carrier license registered under ends to undertake their normal operations without being persecuted for permit infractions. Now, nation, basically the police commissioner is saying that Parliament needs to re-strategize their approach, as these new protocols being put in place by the current administration is making it hard to fight crime and is also facilitating the upsurge in violent crime. The Commissioner has confirmed that when these new protocols are being put in place, focus should be placed on crime and violence, as criminal activity seems to be unaffected by the big C19, and it seems to also be unaffected by the protocols being put in place. Now, when you talk to me, nation, tell me how you feel about the statement being made by the police commissioner. Recently, after there was an outrage created over social media when footage of the trucks driving around parish capitals taking up individuals for mask violations and officers being more focused on party violations, we have seen that the trucks have stopped driving around parish capitals, even though individuals are still, yes, being arrested for mask violations, as it is a protocol put in place by the government. And as the commissioner said, officers will carry out their duty as instructed by Parliament, but he's saying that he's taking now an approach that, based on his calculations, are needed to stop the increase in violent crimes. To date, more individuals have lost their lives from violent crime, even though local media seems to be squarely focused on Big C19. Westmoreland has been dubbed one of the parishes with the highest Big C rate. Would you believe that more individuals in that parish have died since year from violent crime? Gun violence, to be specific. But to date, these concerns of the public have not been addressed, and now the police commissioner has had to make the decision himself. And as I say, it also points to the failure of the Minister of National Security. The fact that, based on his instruction, the focus of police personnel has shifted and criminals have used this opportunity to create mayhem and commit more atrocities to citizens. Now the fact is, clearly, these laws are not put in place for the people. And the people in Uptown know this for a fact. They have seen the way police personnel enforce the law in one side or when dealing with a certain class of people. And they have also seen the news and seen footage on social media how police personnel enforce these same laws on a different class of people. Now, in this case, the citizens and the security forces are united in the fact that crime and violence has taken no days off. Whether no movement or lockdown or whatever the case is, there are still violent crimes taking place in every parish across the island. And the murder rate speaks to that. The spike in violent crime speaks to that. The death toll speaks to that. Talk to me. Tell me how you feel about the commissioner's statement. I wouldn't say it's a little too late, because the situation at hand is something that have to be addressed. So and when we address it is if we address it, and we need to address it. Vice the one called JAYDEN Chase, the dancehall correspondent, the Gaza representative. By some reminder, you know, if you're new to the channel, new to the movement, just a pass through, but you like the reason and of course you like the point of view, well, I'm suggesting to you that you click the subscribe icon and then the bell icon and put it on all. And this is how you know you'll be notified of all fresh content as soon as fresh content is uploaded and made available for you right here on the platform. The like icon is also in close proximity to the share icon. Drop a like and bust a share. Tell a friend, tell them sister and them brother them for check out your channel, check out the reasoning, join the discussion, comment section open 24/7, never lack yet. Just be respectful and mindful of the guidelines. But other than that, drop your thoughts, your comments, and yes, your opinions there, and we can continue the reasoning via the comment section. The police commissioner fed up. He said these new protocols put in place are stretching police resources thin, and he has instructed police personnel that going forward, the focus should be primarily on violent crimes, not just on disaster risk management act violations. Talk to me in the comment section.